Ask me how many people were on the list last night.
Yeah. How many people were on the list last night?
90.
Yeah.
I'm a venue's worst nightmare.
Nothing like stars from a paradise. Don't care cause there's magic in the air tonight. Pretty girl in my ear, she the rarest type. Heaven on earth is right here tonight. I'm in the dream state. I'm in the dream state.
In all-time history, there is no other way. Let me tell you something. After this, I'm done. I'm retired. From the top, you can only go down. This is the top. You want to talk Jersey? You want to talk the greatest state in the union? You want to talk electronic music and those who have impacted the genre so much so that it has transpired it to where it's gotten to today? Then, my friends, you talk none of that without mentioning this man's name. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor, 4B.
What a fucking intro, I'll tell you.
Listen, in all-time history, there is no other way.
I'm not gonna be able to live up to that intro. I don't think.
No. You've already lived up to it. I think it wasn't enough.
That was good. I like that.
How are we feeling? We're fresh off the event.
I kind of want to hire you to do all my intros to every interview and every podcast ever.
I'm waiting for a DJ to hit me up to intro them at like Mirage or somewhere,
Yes.
and just get the crowd absolutely amped for the show.
That's, I was playing Vegas last year and I was making an intro because I was DJing an after party for John Jones, and I'm watching the fight and he wins, and I go back to my hotel room and I make this intro and I'm like, I got it. And I show up to the club, I'm like, yo, I made an intro for John Jones, and they go, you're not doing the intro. I go, what are you talking about? They go, Bruce Buffert's doing the intro.
Okay.
I go, all right.
That's understandable.
Yes.
Bruce Buffer is the GOAT when it comes to intros. Him and his brother.
I know.
For
Isn't
boxing. Yeah, it's his
pretty
brother who does
crazy
the
thing.
boxing. Let's get ready to rumble.
Yep.
That's him.
They didn't know they were brothers for a while.
No,
You know that?
for a long time they didn't
Yeah.
know they were brothers. Yeah, they had no clue. And then someone put it together and they found out that it was actually true.
And they both are great at.
Insane.
Yeah.
Actually unfathomable.
Gets me fired up.
Yeah, I'm juiced up right now.
Me
So
too.
we're fresh off 4 being friends last night. This was year 6, correct?
This is my 6th party.
6th party.
So COVID, we lost a few years, but
Yeah.
it's my 6th for being friends in Miami.
Yeah, that was the only way I could really describe that was absolute madness.
It was just mayhem.
I mean, it was insane. So I'm not used to going to shows where it's all just headbanger music. Now you mix in the Jersey Club as well.
Yeah.
We got there towards the end of Jake's set.
Okay.
And then obviously Flosstradamus was on after him.
Yeah.
And he just brought it right from the beginning. And then you came on and it was on.
It was slammed. I opened the party. I was there at 8:30 p.m. So I played some house as my side project Rosario, and then Stevie G went on, and then Jake Shore, and then Stevie G, then Jules Julio from GTA, Good Times Ahead.
Yep.
Then Jake Shore, then Flosstradamus, then me, and then we did back-to-backs with Layback Luke, with just anybody with a USB, really,
Yeah, that last hour I think was just absolutely off the charts.
So I was there from 8:30 to 5 or something. Pulled a shift.
And so the idea for 4 being friends. So the and friends part of this were you the original one to do 4B like and friends, or was somebody else doing and friends shows before you? Because I've only known about that since you.
I know. I don't want to claim it, but I don't remember anyone else doing it when I started. I'm sure there was a freaking party in like the 90s of someone doing and friends. I definitely am not the first, but I don't. When I started doing it, I don't remember it really being a thing, or as popular as a lot of people are doing it now. Which, like I said, I didn't start it. So
yeah, you were the first one. It could be just. I mean, we come reigning supreme from the greatest state in the union that is Jersey.
Yes.
So it could be that we're just in that sector, and now I've only seen you playing 4B and friends and nobody else. But now I see like a lot of other people doing it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's why I was like, oh, I wonder if he was.
So
the
it
original.
started with like I announced lineups with question marks. So it's 4B and friends. It's like guess who the friends are kind of thing,
And that started in Miami, or you started that in Jersey?
My first 4B and friends was in LA.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in LA. Then the next one was in Jersey, and then we did Miami.
Because it's grown and you've done it all 3 places, maybe even more, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we've done it in a few places. I'd like to do it. I've been for years. I've been trying to do it in Thailand, but just haven't been able to figure it out.
Because you've played there before, no? Thailand?
Yeah, I played there a bunch.
You're all over. From what I could tell,
I
going
try to
through
be.
everything, I mean, all over.
I try to be, man. You know.
Well, the style of music. Well, first of all, when
I got mouths to feed. You know.
Yeah, we got 3B.
I got 3B.
But just from what I could tell, it's all over. And that style of music, I guess like now with the music scene, you know, it's a lot of house, tech house. Like that's what's very popular. But when I think Jersey Club, automatic, I think 4B. Like
Thanks, man.
that's what I think of. But also as I was doing research and like, you know, getting ready for the podcast, I started to see just how much like trap, bass, and thinking back to that era now, I wasn't so in the scene at that time, but thinking back to the era of where you really blew up, like back, I guess, obviously Popped Out was 2015,
Yeah.
but before that you were playing EDC and doing big shows as
Yeah.
well. But that style of music was very popular back then.
Yeah.
And still, I guess to this day, because you're still playing all those shows all over, and it's sold out crowd. It's packed.
I just found a way to incorporate what I do into things that are like popping, you know?
Yeah.
So like the Jersey Club shit has always been around, but I found a way to incorporate it within the EDM bubble. So I was doing Jersey Club flips of festival records, you know, festival trap records, you know, EDM records. No one was really flipping dance music like that. Jersey Club was mostly like hip hop and R&B remixes and stuff like that. So when I started flipping the dance thing, that's when people were able to, you know, connect the dots. And my biggest thing is like what I'm most proud of is if you hear something, someone could say that sounds like 4B, and that to me is the dopest. And that to me, that's the dopest thing, you know.
Yeah, I think that's what I was saying before. When I hear Jersey Club or that sound, I'm like, yo, 4B. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, is that 4B song? Because so who was, I guess when you were, I guess we'll take it back here and go to the beginning of the story, but you were where, Westfield is where you're from, or no, in Jersey?
I was born in Staten Island, actually. I moved to Jersey when I was 13. I moved to Westfield, and then I went to Metuchen, then I went to LA, and then I went back to Jersey, and I'm living back in Jersey now for like less.
So where did, I guess, your journey in music begin? Like what got you
So
attracted
4B
to it,
is born
into
in
it?
Jersey because I started when I moved to Jersey when I was like 14. My mom said to go get a job, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna actually, I wanted to dance for a DJ company, a wedding DJ company.
Yeah, okay, they have the dancers that go.
Yeah,
Yep.
they had the dancers. I wanted to dance, baby. You know what I'm saying? And I call up my cousin who has this company, and I'm like, hey, I want to be a dancer. And he's like, you live in Jersey. We're in Staten Island. It just doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, just tell me I'm bad at dancing, you know? And so I'm like, I'm going to start my own company. And that's how it started. I just picked up some equipment and taught myself. That was it.
So DJing is just, all of it was just self-taught.
I've never done another job. I've never done anything else. I'm only good at this one thing.
Yeah.
And I'm barely good at it.
And I wouldn't say barely. I mean, we're talking legendary status here. But and what's even cooler is that you rep New Jersey, so it's really cool to have somebody who's reached the status you've reached and be representing Jersey like that. It's really cool, especially in dance music, which is, for me, I love music, so it's cool that like the podcast has brought me to a bunch of different DJs and people who are in music.
Yeah.
So it's cool to be sitting here right now talking to you and finding out the story. But
In this trap house.
in this trap house in Miami. But so in terms of the like Jersey Club, was that the sound you had right off the bat, like right from the beginning?
No, so there was this massive teen club in Jersey called a Club Abyss, right? And when I started, I was just an open format DJ. I was making edits and stuff like that. And I mainly was just playing all house. I did block parties and I did birthday parties. So I played everything, but I really wanted to be a house DJ. So I go to Club Abyss, I bring them my demo CD, and they're like, hey, we don't have a spot for a house DJ, but we have a spot for a hip hop DJ. And I'm like, fine, like I'll do that. And they're like, all right, you have to like kind of put on a set for us right now. And they bring me in the basement to do a set. And
Trial by fire.
yeah, and I did like a hip hop set. But slowly I'm like, oh, they want a little bit more than hip hop. They want some club music. So then I started playing more Jersey club, and then it just like naturally happened. From there on, I was a hip hop DJ. You know, I was doing hip hop parties, and then mainly doing Jersey club parties, and it kind of just like naturally transitioned into that.
So you were running parties back then that were kind of like your events, or through that venue?
I for a long time I was just doing parties, like getting booked as a DJ, and then slowly I started doing my own events, doing my own teen parties, doing, you know, my own little shows. I had a party in Elizabeth, New Jersey on a Tuesday for like 20 people maybe on a good night.
Well, I think that's how it always starts, is those small crowds. And then, I mean, you look at what it's built to today. Just going back to last night's show, I mean, the place was packed. And you could tell how much the people who were there really love that music and your style.
I was talking about it yesterday. Julio from Good Times Ahead, he's played every single one. And I'm stupid because, like, every year I'm like, all right, it's going to be the last one, man. It's going to be the last one. And then we have an event like that, and I'm like, guess we got to do it again.
I mean, that place was off the charts. From the minute we walked in, it was just madness. The
Crazy.
speakers were so loud. I mean, it was just juiced. Front to back, the whole place. And everyone was going nuts.
From what I remember.
I mean, yeah. What'd you have? You're a Hennessy guy, huh?
Big Hennessy guy.
That's the go-to? Since the beginning, huh? Or no? Was that from, or what?
I mean, I think everyone kind of starts off with vodka, right?
Yeah. In the water bottles in high school?
Ugh.
Yeah, disgusting.
And then you have one really bad hangover, and you're like, I'm done with
You're
that.
done.
You know, I was never really a beer guy. Someone introduced me to Hennessy Red Bull, and I woke up the next day, and I wasn't hungover. And I was like, all right, this might be it for me.
This might be the move right here. If
Right
I could
now,
drink and then come back strong.
I'm drinking Hennessy and Arizona iced tea right now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
That's a good combo, no?
It's fantastic.
Yeah. So my family's got a couple bars, so Hennessy is always stocked there. There's always a massive bottle. I think it's a 1.75, so it's a massive bottle just in the back.
Oh, yeah.
And it flows. So going back to the events and you making music and mixes, when does it kind of turn from, or maybe from the beginning you were doing that? Because again, with Jersey Club, it's cool to hear the lead up and then how it turns into that, specific style drop and that sound. But when did it turn into producing your own music?
I was making edits on Crack for DJs, which is like a sub website off of Crook and Clan, and I really loved having my own edits, my own mashups. It felt exclusive. Like, you'd find records online, right, through freaking LimeWire or like Russian websites, and you'd be like, oh, I got this. Like, these other DJs I'm playing with tonight, they don't have this, you know? And then you'd go one up, oh, I got my own edit, and that felt exclusive. And then it's like, I'm starting to add some claps and some little effects to an edit, and it's like, oh, all of a sudden I'm putting in a kick drum, and then it's becoming a remix, and then it's becoming original. So the same thing, it was like a natural progression where it's just like, I wanted something exclusive that was mine that no one else could have, and that's how that happened. I was like, I'm gonna start making my own shit so I could play it and nobody else got it, and it creates a demand for it, and so that's how that happened.
Yeah, a lot of people, so funny enough, like a lot of kids see that I hang out with a lot of DJs and I'm at a lot of shows, so they ask me, advice, and I'm like, well, I'm not a DJ. But the one thing I've learned from a lot of people, or from a lot of DJs that I know, is finding your sound is something that's so important.
Yeah.
Because I think, especially in Jersey, a lot of people start with the open format route. I think almost everybody does. And then that could take you to so many different places in New Jersey. I mean, all those, obviously it's all open format. But then when you start producing, I always feel like, or what I've learned over the past couple of years, is that's the ticket to taking you to the next level, where you start doing your own shows and start doing bigger shows.
That's the whole thing. Like, you have to be known for, a style or a sound. And when that's what makes you stick out, like I said, when someone says, oh, that sounds like 4B, that's the biggest thing right there.
When did your first track that you really noticed take off come for you?
I want to say 2012 or 13 maybe. It was this record called Bumbleclot, and it was the first one I got like feedback from on an email. Chocolate Puma were the first guys to hit me back and give me some constructive criticism, and then I sent it out to a bunch of DJs, and I just started getting support like crazy. They're playing it everywhere. Everyone played that record. Swedish House Mafia, Tiesto, like all of these guys. It was like I said, the first time I really got support, And then I'm like, all right, that was like the Jungle Terror type era. So I was super focused on like the drums of it, and percussive drops. And I kind of dialed it in with that, and then adding the Jersey flair to it.
And so that's when all the big DJs started playing your music, was with that track.
Yeah. They started playing that, and then I had a bunch of records after that everyone was kind of supporting. It was like a wave of like that style of music, like jungle and like hard electro almost.
Yeah, well, once the big DJs start playing your music, that I feel like that is the pattern that I have learned through talking about Baronici, by the way. Shout out, he came for the pod. Let's go.
Mikey.
On his episode of the Reddcast, he was talking about how you were the first DJ who played one of his songs. And
Didn't
then
know
from
that.
there, it started rolling. Now, what were you sending music out on back then? Like, what was the way to connect with DJs?
So when I DJ'd with Diplo in 2011, and he gave me his email, and I would send him edits and remixes and songs like once a week. I must have sent him like 50 emails, and he didn't respond to a single one of them. And I saw him like 2 years later, a year later, and I'm like, yo, did you get any of my emails? And he typed in 4B in his computer, and he had every song I ever sent him. So I was like, oh, I'm not, forget about the response. Just keep going. So I've always just emailed people.
Yeah, because I guess now there's just so many different ways you can connect with artists.
It's almost annoying.
It's like you got Instagram.
Do I DM them on Instagram?
Yeah.
Email is the old reliable.
Yeah, the old reliable, still to this day.
If I get a DM on Instagram, I'm going to email myself anyway,
Yeah, just to keep it there. Well, now I guess in terms of where you are, you're probably getting so many people reaching out all the time with what's going on, so.
I think back then it mattered more about people playing your music. I think now it's more like community building, and you don't really need other people to play your music to like pop off or like become a bigger artist. Like it's more of like the people fucking with your music.
Well, the scene has changed so much in that sense, and I think social media has played a major part in the way people blow up, what you were just talking about.
Definitely.
I mean, with TikTok now, if you drop a song that is an absolute banger and that clip blows up, your career's made. Like it's on.
A little girl in Asia painting her nails and the song can pop off, you know what I mean? A skiing video.
And then it's like
hamsters.
Yeah.
Anything.
So you came through the era where you had to grind it out. Now they got it.
Now you never know what might pop a song off,
And in terms of signing music to labels, how did it work in terms of when you were blowing up? Was that the same? Like was it mainly labels signing the song?
I mean, you had like head DJ, the head of a label was the DJ. So like Diplo was Mad Decent, A-Track, Fool's Gold, Layback Luke, Mix Mash, like, so it was always through a DJ kind of,
And when you noticed the DJs playing the songs, like when does it turn to you starting to play bigger and bigger shows outside of like the events you were showing in the local scene? When do you get those opportunities?
I drove to Miami in 2015 or maybe 2016. I drove and I got guest listed at Ultra. I had like 15 different IDs played by like 13 different artists. And I said, I'm not coming back here till I'm playing. And the next year I was playing. Like I just had that much support where there was almost a demand for it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how a lot of like upcoming artists and stuff like that, they ask me about like, do I get a manager? Do I get an agent? And it's like, until you can't manage yourself, until you don't have time to do it, that's when you do it. Same thing with the agent. Like you don't want to get an agent too early and then there's no demand and then all of a sudden you're beat, you're dropped or you're shelved or, you know what I mean? It's like you have all that stuff when there's a demand for it, when they could place you in a city that's asking for you to come, that's how that kind of works. So I guess I had some buzz at the time from the internet, just like people playing my music and listening to my sets. Like I got to kind of travel from there.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I think about everything and the way it looked from where I was doing my research, like I mentioned before, you were playing some big festivals before Pop That blew up. Now, originally I thought Pop That was the one that really blew it up. And I don't know how much of an effect that had, but it seems like that one really went crazy when you dropped it. But that was 2015. Yeah. Before that, you had been playing some festivals, correct?
No, 2015 was my first festival.
Okay.
EDC New York, 2015.
And that was after Pop That dropped?
No. Pop That came right after that. I would
Okay.
say later in the year maybe.
Okay.
Because I dropped that on my birthday when I played EDC Orlando, which was also 2015.
Okay.
So EDC New York was in May, and then EDC Orlando was in November.
EDC New York, huh? They were doing that. They haven't done that in a while, no?
I fucking and now. By the way, EDC New York was in Jersey. It's at MetLife.
Was that MetLife Stadium?
Yeah,
Let's go.
I begged them, bring it back. Begged.
They could now. I mean, with dance music being where it's at.
I think. I mean, I'm serious. I've literally asked them for years. There was some type of deal that just didn't work out with the venue. So, but man, I think I would Jersey. We need it so bad.
There's something about New Jersey where I feel like everything is connected through New Jersey. Maybe that's because I'm from there and I'm probably the number one.
Do you
hype
find
man of
it when you're on like Netflix, like it's always in a fucking movie or show?
Yes, everything.
It's
Every
always-
single. Yeah.
Right? It's so fucking weird.
Somehow, both of us from New Jersey ended up doing the podcast here in Miami. But that's the way it worked out. Well, originally when I hit you up for the new year, I was thinking it might be cool to release the episode for Miami Music Week.
Yeah.
Like leading up, because again, you always do the show. Plus,
But I
there's just
said,
so
you know
much
what? Fuck doing it in advance. Let's do it hungover.
Yeah.
On a casting call couch.
off a lot of Hennessy
Yes.
the day before.
By the way, my wife has the bird flu. If you hear coughing in the background, she has
Mrs. 4B.
the bird flu.
Anything to say?
Wow, that looked
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Correction, it was 2013 when we drove.
We went to Ultra
I wasn't 21.
Wow.
Okay.
See, we got a fact checker in
we
the
got-
building. It was
I
2013?
was not 21.
Holy
I
shit.
stayed in the hotel.
Wow, you're right.
So didn't come to the show.
I didn't go to any shows. I just walked around.
But festivals,
Holy
I guess.
shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's a festival, I'd feel
I
like
got
we don't
guest
have-
listed. I was the one. I
Oh
didn't,
yeah, if you were guest listed, yeah.
Yeah,
you can't.
yeah, she couldn't
That's,
go.
Here we go with the guest list. This is what I knew last night when I texted you when I got the value. There's 0% chance that he sees the text. When you're running the show, there's no way that it's gonna happen.
Ask me how many people were on the list last night.
Yeah. How many people were on the list last night?
90.
Yeah.
I'm a venue's worst nightmare. I had 90 people on the guest list last night.
Well, the stage was just absolutely juiced from the minute
I'll
we
tell you
walked
what.
in.
I'll tell you what though. The venue handled it very well.
Yeah.
They really did. They really did.
So going to the festivals and whatnot, what was it like the first time you ever walked out onto that stage to play one?
So we're driving in a golf cart behind the stage of EDC New York, and I'm in this golf cart, and I go, "What's that?" And they go, "That's your stage." And I swear to God, that was the first festival I've ever been to. You know, I'd never seen something so big. So I'm like, "That's my stage." They're like, "Yeah." You had to climb up stairs. You had to go up these stairs to go to the actual stage. It was like super high up. Bro, my legs were shaking. And then I'm on Serato at the time, so I have my laptop, and I'm like, please, nothing go wrong, whatever. And I'll never forget playing that first song. My hands were just shaking. And then after I mixed in, I just wanted to play the first song and then mix in the next record. And then it was good. But the adrenaline I had, I wish I could feel that. I wish I could feel that again.
Well, they say the anticipation is like
Oh
leading
my
up to when you get
God.
out there, and then once you get into your
I
zone,
couldn't feel my feet. I remember I'm like jumping my first drop, and like my feet were numb. I'm dead serious. My feet were numb. I was like pins and needles. Like it was just, and I tell everybody, it was 3:00. There was a lot of people there, and you look out into the crowd of people, and I could recognize people. Like I could just see people I know, which is always crazy. Like there could be 20,000 people in the crowd, and I look out, and I'll like your eyes like pick up your
Yep.
face, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't feel anything anymore. I wish I did. You know, I don't feel a goddamn thing. I could be in front of 60,000 people,
Yeah.
and it's like not even nothing.
Well, when you've played that many shows at this point, I mean, it's just like you hop on there and you're in your zone. You know?
Man, if you were able to put that into a pill, that feeling, man.
Well, you know what? One clip I really like that's on your Instagram, maybe on your TikTok as well, but the clip of you in high school when they're interviewing you and asking, you're like, yeah, I want to be the kid that everybody says, "Oh yeah, I knew that kid, and I want to make it."
They don't invite me to the freaking reunions though. It's messed up. I don't know what that's about.
You guys have had the 10-year reunion. How many reunions are they doing here?
I graduated 2010, so we're at 15. I mean, I haven't gotten one Facebook message. You know what I'm saying?
To go?
I think 10 was during COVID, maybe, or maybe I just didn't.
Yeah,
I don't think
2020.
2020.
What an era that was.
Maybe that's-
Listen,
But why aren't I DJing it? Is the question.
That is true. Why are you not DJing the 10-year reunion, especially after all the success that is
I
transpired
don't get
since
it.
then?
I would like to talk to maybe the board.
Yeah, and see who the fuck can get you on there.
Yeah.
I mean, can we get
Should I have
an
my
invite
agent-
to the fucking high school reunion or
Should,
what?
should I have my agent reach out? Like, I don't know what to do here.
Your management, maybe they could get
Yeah.
it done, you know?
I guess I'm closer to 20-year reunion. Jesus Christ.
We're getting there. I was 2011 high school, so I'm only the year
Let's
after.
go.
you, so.
2011, good year.
Manasquan. Oh, great year. 20.
Squan.
Yeah, Manasquan.
Squan.
That's where I'm from.
Squan.
From now.
Yep.
Gang shit.
Listen, we're all Jersey Shore. I mean, we're dialed in.
Squan. Where do we used to go to Manasquan? The lake? What's Manasquan? Manasquan Reservoir.
Reservoir, yeah. Beautiful to walk around
Beautiful
there.
walk
oh, yeah,
around.
it's amazing. Post lift, maybe you go up there. That's a Jason Keats idea. He said, "Oh, I want to go when
Oh,
hit the
shout out
Manasquan
Jason
Reservoir." Yeah,
Keats.
shout
Yeah.
out Jason Keats. You know? Oh,
Yes,
of course.
I do.
Yeah.
He does Tommy's.
Yes. Yeah, he does all the events for Tommy's. Yeah.
Shout out
and Freehold.
Tommy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is the one cool thing
Great
about
menu.
New Jersey and the scene, just the Jersey Shore in general, but the DJ scene there, and everybody is very connected. Like, even when I walked up last night, we walk up and we're right next to the stage. I get up to look, and Dario Valley's sitting right there at the front. And then you got Subers walking in.
Yep.
On a level last night, absolutely. I mean, just,
With a boot on.
Yeah, but again, it was his brother's bachelor party, I guess, so that's understandable.
It's funny. I just released a song today called Techno Bell, and it's the original song was called Final Chapter that we sampled the melody
yeah.
from. Jersey Shore classic.
That song is New Jersey.
It's a classic, right? So I grew up thinking that was like a European rave record, right? So the label goes to clear it, and it's like a few months. I'm like, yo, what's going on? What's going on? They're like, oh, we finally got in contact with the original artist. He's pumped that you're from Jersey too. I go, what? I go, he's from Jersey? I thought this was a Euro dance record. He goes, yeah, he's from Jersey. I go, send me his Instagram. They send me his Instagram. I click on it. It's like 3 pictures with my dad's friends. And I'm like, God damn it. I am an idiot. So they get me his number. I call him up. I'm like, hey, Mike, this is Bobby 4B. First of all, I'm so sorry. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm an idiot, bro. I didn't know that this was a Jersey record, it's amazing, actually. And I'm like, I just want to apologize. I wish I would have just reached out to you personally. I just felt like such an idiot. Oh my God. I see, Anthony Acid is like, my dad brought me to Anthony's house when I was like 14. He had a studio. He's a legendary producer from Staten Island. And I see a picture of him. I see, all these guys. And I'm like, God, this is a Jersey record, which is full circle moment,
Yeah.
But shout out Mike. I mean, Final Chapter, absolute classic. Doesn't get enough recognition.
That song is an absolute nuke.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a banger. And if you're from New Jersey, obviously you
Missile.
know that song. But like you said, you listen to it and you might not, you just like, this song's a banger.
Oh, it's crazy. Simplicity is key, for songs like that. But it's so crazy how there's just certain melodies that just like ring off.
There's some songs that just have that sound. Like, I guess even, and I did want to dive into maybe your creative process a little bit when you go into the studio, but there's just something about when you, like talking about even relating it to the social media, like when one of those clips goes crazy, there's just something about that drop that gravitated everybody's energy towards it and made it go. And everybody's like, you got to hear this. And I would imagine in the studio maybe, or maybe not. What is it, have you had songs where you made it and you were like, oh, I don't know if this is going to go anywhere and it's blown? Or have you made one and you're like, yo, this is it and it's...
I think I got something every other day,
Yeah,
I think I got something every other day. And then I wake up the next day, I'm like, this is dog shit. But the test is you have the next morning test, right? You're like, is this still good? You got the car test. But the number one is you go out, you test it out, you play it. Now, the first time I played Whistle, back then you'd get like like in comedy, they call them pops, right? You get these crowd pops. they don't even do that shit no more. I don't think. Like there was like it was almost like a surprise, but you would drop something, and that's when Big Room House and you had these records that had these drops that crowds would react to. The first time I dropped Whistle, it was like people, that is the check mark. Like, okay, that's it. You know, it's this works.
Yeah, well, that song is such a classic. I mean, and thinking about when we were, again, starting to do the research for the pod, like, Whistle is an absolute staple. I wasn't, like, a big, like, Jersey club guy, so I knew a select few songs. They were all yours. And then, of course, Mi Gente, that remix, I knew that one as well. But Pop That, obviously, let's say I was in college at that time. That was such a massive song that I also knew that one as well.
Peak trap
That
era,
was, Are we bringing it back this year or what?
Trap's big back, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going back to back with Flusterdamus tonight at Brownie's Lemonade, and I'm gonna black out most likely.
He's also a legend of the game, Flusterdamus.
He's beyond a legend. He is, first of all, just one of he's like I don't even know how to describe him. He's like the nicest guy, probably my closest friend in the industry. He's just so supportive, so genuine, and he's been doing it twice as long as I am, and he does things like he's just that Midwest boy, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kurt is the greatest. He always has some great insight. He always has another way to look at things. He's super positive, but he's been in this game for so long, and he's a legend. I've looked up to him. I was a fan of him before I got to be his friend, and I'm just grateful to be able to be doing back-to-backs with him.
When did you first connect with him?
Probably 2015 too. We got up and remixed My Way. He was living in Brooklyn at the time, I think, and we got up in the studio and flipped My Way. Was that the first one? Yeah, that was the first one, I think. He was playing a bunch of my stuff. Flusterdamus was, oh my God, the king's a trap, It was just madness.
Well, then it turned into, obviously, later Blackout, which, I mean, that record is
my favorite tour ever.
Insane. And did the tour stem from that song or no?
Yeah, we were like, all right, we're going to do a back-to-back tour, and we need a song around it. And my manager actually came up with the idea to do like those purple blackout lights. You know what I mean? Like that was like kind of be the theme of it, and we were gonna wear like this construction type gear, like reflective gear and shit.
Before Beltran started doing this, these guys were doing this.
Who's that?
Beltran?
Yeah, is that some
DJ Beltran?
Never heard of him.
Brazilian guy? Big time Brazilian DJ?
I love Brazil.
Smack Yo?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've heard his music for sure. 100%.
I'm just not a name.
He's
guy.
house, very house. Very
Okay.
house. A little bit of minimal. Yeah.
He wears a construction
always
vest?
playing with Chase West. They're always playing together.
He wears
a
a construct.
And the helmet. Yeah.
He got the helmet. He goes full on.
Yeah, he goes full on. It might have been somebody brought that to the show, but I saw him put that on.
So
But he's known for doing that now. Like people wear it to the
Shit.
show. Just go back to your Instagram. Look at the clip from you guys. I mean, that was that Hardfest. That clip.
Yeah, my favorite tour ever. We did a whole tour. We wore those suits every show. So we used to wear the top and the pants. I swear to God, we'd lose 10 pounds a show. Those pants in the nightclub, we were drenched. And we're putting it on tonight. And I said, please not the pants. He goes, no pants. I go, fine. No pants.
We'll do the vests. Well,
no pants, though.
Over the years, your fits at these shows, Gesture, you guys have had a couple good fits together. And it seems like you really enjoy playing back-to-back with him as well.
Fact check this, Instagram. I've never worn an outfit twice at a show.
I've never seen the same one twice on any of your
in
clips.
10 years.
Okay. Full
That's
decade.
Psychotic, by the way. I have an issue. And my wife knows this because my closet is insane.
Well, over a decade, you could collect a lot of fits, especially if you're not repeating
bad.
any.
It's bad. What do we got?
Going to grab the food? No? This is for me?
I said, what did I say before? I go, when they're here to drop off alcohol, invite them in. I want them to join the podcast.
Yeah, let them get a cameo.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like Mrs. 4B should make a cameo since we've already referenced her so much.
She's going to charge me. She'll invoice me, and I'll get an invoice.
But that clip of you guys, was that the final? That wasn't the final show, or was it? You said you could take me out of Jersey, but you can't take the Jersey out of me, and you guys just drop an absolute nuke. That clip is just pure energy. When you watch that clip, and that's another thing I want to say. When I watch your videos, one thing that you cannot deny is the energy you bring to a show. And it's the energy that you feel, I suppose, as well, when you have that crowd giving it back to you, is something that's unmatched.
Yeah, man. I like. We gotta get hyped up. Are they coming in? No.
I ordered cookies.
See, this is why you can't give. Listen, if you got listen to me, camera. If you're watching this right now, you got a wife. Don't give him your credit card. Don't do it.
Forget about it.
Don't do it.
It's over.
You know. What kind of cookies?
I get so many.
You see, it's why you can't get drunk at 3 p.m.
Yeah, but the partner knows. Your wife, whoever they seem
She
to
just
have
made
some
me-
type of
She knows.
knowledge of what's needed.
She's gonna hide 2 cookies in a cabinet,
Yeah.
and she's gonna pull that out at like 2 a.m. tonight, and I'm gonna thank her. I'm gonna re-propose to her. Yeah. But going back to that clip, yeah, I love energy. I want, balls to the wall from start to finish, but taking you on a journey up and down. And that clip went viral. That was after the Blackout Tour. That was recently, last 2-3 years, I forget.
Yeah, I think 2023 maybe.
Yeah, but that went viral in like Indonesia or something. That show was in South Korea, but for some reason that clip went viral. I don't know why.
I
like-
can't
it has
call
like a
it
million
with
plays.
these, with these viral clips. Sometimes so my most viral clips that I've had were from Paranici's episode when I'm explaining the Jersey Shore. Listen, all right, we're gonna have a lot of people from
I know
Jersey
you. I know
watching.
you've been to Jersey, but you haven't really been to the Jersey Shore,
No,
right?
no. We said we're gonna get him there, and he asked to play DJs. I mean, it's an auto lock.
Yeah. Give me some of that. Get over here.
Can you make a cameo, please? No, come on.
Get
Just
over-
say
get over here.
Say what's up to the. Okay.
What do we got here?
It's a brookie.
Wow.
It's all time.
Want to do it?
It's all, no, it's you. It's all
on,
you.
dude, do it.
I guess we have to,
Do
right?
have
I'll take
to.
half or what?
Yeah.
Little bite?
Yeah.
Cheers.
One bite. Everyone knows the rules. What do you rate it?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not even lying. That's fantastic.
See, we were just knocking the cookies. The wife knows. The wife knows. We were just knocking the cookies.
Wait a minute. Where is
Hell
it?
yeah, brother.
Oh.
Where is this from? You know what I love? This is a medium rare cookie.
Soft.
Wow.
Soft. Crunchy on the outside, melts in your mouth, soft in the
Almost a
middle.
little undercooked in the middle. I
Yep,
like that.
That's what you want. Yeah, you don't
Holy shit.
you don't want the crunch. What's your score on that? Nothing, no rookie score.
I'm having a moment right now. I'll ditch the Henny. I gotta get a glass cold, ice cold, almost too cold.
I got milk.
Whole milk. What's your take on whole milk?
You want to get me going on milk? You want to get me going on fitness, wellness, milk, and nutrition? I'll go for hours. Dairy, not that great for you folks. I'm just going to let you know. But if you're having a cookie, you got to enjoy a nice
Oh my God.
Habeeb. Shout out Andrew Habeeb. Big time whole milk guy. Big cereal, big whole milk guy.
I want milk in the club.
Yeah, you're a big milk guy, huh?
Not a big milk guy, but I'd like to maybe enjoy a glass of milk in the club at one point.
Okay. I'm sure it's refreshing if you're up. I mean, again, talking about the energy you bring, it might be nice to have a nice cold glass of milk there.
Wow. That was
What
was a
about
9.8, I
What
think.
about a nice warm glass of milk with cookies? No.
My nanny used to put
Oh, come on. Santa Claus, warm glass of milk. You leave the cookies
My
out, he
nanny
goes and
used to
eats them.
put a glass of milk in the microwave for me. In a plastic cup. I probably got so much radiation in me, you couldn't even count it.
That might be helping with all these electric drops, though.
She'd get warm milk in the microwave, and what are those vanilla wafers? You remember those vanilla
I
wafers?
love those. Got them stocked.
They still
at
make
the house.
they still make those?
Oh yeah, the sugar wafers they each like
yeah,
it's like a
just-
couple layers. Yep.
No. Just one round disc of nothing. You know what I'm saying?
The cookie like size. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, they still make the vanilla wafers. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking Elmer Fudge. That's what I go with.
Yes,
I got
yes.
massive packs.
Are you a big cereal guy?
Cheat day. I'm a big cereal guy. I don't eat that much. I'm big fitness nutrition. I only do one cheat day a week. But when I do that, when we really do it at the top of the game, we're talking 5 Big Macs, 10-piece nugget, large
What the
fry, 2 Pepsis.
Wait, hold on.
6 donuts for dessert.
Wait, whoa.
Don't test me on this, motherfuckers.
What are you saying right now?
I'm saying I'm putting that down, no problem.
Repeat what you just said. How much?
5 Big Macs.
5 Big Macs.
Yeah, auto lock.
Sitting down at one time.
One sitting.
I need a video of this. I don't think
I
he's
already have it.
bullshitting.
I did it in Hawaii years ago. I've done it multiple times. This is easy. This is
Who is this guy? Fucking Joey Chestnut?
Last Living Red, baby. How you doing?
Oh my god.
We do. That's only cheat day though, and then the rest of the week.
What do you
we're-
mean? It's
we're
cheap
locked in.
fucking year.
Yeah,
5 Big
that's
Macs.
Enough. That's enough for one. Maybe enough for 2 weeks, but we do it once. And
Wait,
then
hold on. You're lying to me, right?
I'm not lying.
5 Big Macs. Keep going.
10-piece nugget.
10-piece nugget. So good.
Amazing.
So-
You have to have that just for the variety.
It's, you know what? It's not even close.
It's not McDonald's to me. I know everybody gets into the fast food thing. The Big Mac, oh, there's too much bread. No, the portions absolutely ideal. Don't give me this quarter pounder with the mac sauce bullshit. I know quarter pounder with the mac sauce. No.
Best fast food burger. Shake Shack. Sorry.
Oh, is it?
Smack.
I'm not familiar with that.
Smoke Shack burger.
Really?
Smoke Shack burger. Gourmet.
I'm gonna have to try that on the next cheat day. I've been trying to stick
Don't
to
fucking
Chipotle.
get 10 of
on
them, though,
cheat
you
days.
psychopath.
How
Wait.
big are they in comparison to a Big Mac?
I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I don't. That's so crazy.
I've been trying to stick to the healthier stuff on cheat day now, but we do it once a week. The rest
I
of
lost
the week,
25
we eat
pounds
clean.
recently.
Did you? Are you big into the gym and fitness and all that? Or
I do
what?
jujitsu,
Jiu-jitsu, I saw, yes.
and I was gonna do a tournament, so I had to drop weight, and I dropped weight, but couldn't do the tournament because I had a show.
You had to cut weight for the tournament?
Yeah,
And what were you trying to get to for that?
I was 186, and I dropped to 165.
Wow. You actually dropped to 165?
Yep, I'm 168 right now.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
That's your...
that cookie, I'm fucking 178.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Yeah, so when did you get into jiu-jitsu?
4 years ago. Good story. We're on the way to my wife's work event, and we're parking, and she goes, "By the way, I told my boss that you would beat him up in a fight." And she closes the door, and I go, "Why would you say that? And how big is he?" I go,
That's the question.
"No, for real." And I go, "Why would you say that?" She's like, "Well, he trains." I go, "He what? He trains?" She's like, "Yeah, well, I said that, you'd like to fight." And like, I don't know. Like, you would beat him up. I'm like, Jesus Christ, why would you say that? So we're over there. I got a drink in my hand. And I meet him, and we're hanging out. And he comes up to me and goes, "If I had one more drink, we'd be rolling around on the ground right now." I'm like, "Well, my girlfriend works with you." So I'm like, I'm not trying to be no bitch, I'm like, "Yeah,
That's a challenge?
yeah." And then he goes, "Have you ever done jujitsu?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Do you want to?" I'm like, "I'm down." He's like, "Come to the gym tomorrow." And not in like a mean way or nothing. He was just like, "Come to the gym tomorrow." And I showed up. And he's like, "Wow, I can't believe you actually showed up." And he introed me to jujitsu, which I'll be forever grateful for. And I fell in love with it ever since.
Yeah, that is, and mixed martial arts in general, just such a good release. But jiu-jitsu is an art that is, there's so many levels to it.
Yeah.
It's something that
Makes me a better person.
Oh,
Like if I'm stressed out or if I'm being a little cranky, my wife will be like, go do a class.
they say it's very humbling too.
It's the most humbling. I get my ass beat every fucking day.
That's something where the size doesn't always matter. You could be huge and you.
There's
could
a guy at my gym that's about 5'5", 140 pounds, and he's like 70. His name's Chuck Jitsu. He's so fucking strong. He literally puts me into a fucking pretzel. And you'll see him in a bar, like little gray hair man, and he will put you like, it's like you're helpless.
Yeah, you never know what someone knows. Someone like that is a perfect example.
Dangerous.
Yeah, you mess with them and then all of a sudden you're on your back and you're getting choked out. I mean, it's.
You're asleep.
Were you into MMA before you started jiu-jitsu?
I was always a fan of, I was always a fan of fighting and just mixed martial arts and everything. I did a little bit of Muay Thai. I did wrestling, in middle school. I was always just a fan of it, but I never got into it. I did some boxing.
Yeah, it's something that I've looked to get into, but there's just something about being 400 milligrams deep on caffeine
Yeah, baby.
underneath that iron. I'm a big Iron Paradise
I got
guy.
tired of it. That was my thing.
Yeah, a lot of people say that they want the variety, but
I got tired of just lifting weight. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to do 4 sets. And it's like, I'll just do 3,
Yeah.
Then I got real tired of running. I fucking hate running.
dude, cardio is the enemy. It's
Yeah.
very simple.
So I'm in Thailand. I go to a Muay Thai gym. I want to do some sparring stuff, hitting some bags, learn some stuff. I'm there. It's me and the guy that lives at the gym. It's fucking 110 degrees out. He goes, all right, warm up. Gives me a jumping rope that's like this big. I'm like swinging it over my, oof, oof. All of a sudden, this white dude walks out. And I go, I'm supposed to be the only white guy here. Like, I haven't seen a white guy in a week, you know? This white kid walks out. I walk up to him, like, yo, what's up? I'm Bobby. Hey, I'm Frank. Where are you from? Jersey. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. He came to my show. We hung out. COVID hits. I moved back. He hits me up. Yo, move back to Jersey. Same with me. Where should I go train? Henzo Gracie in Middletown. And that's where I train now. Off of a guy that I met in the jungle of Thailand.
Jersey is everywhere. Let's first state that fact. Everywhere you go, there will be... They walked out of an apartment in Miami last time we were here, and they just randomly screamed to somebody as a joke because they were going to hop off the flight and go to DJ's right off of it. Classic move. They go, oh, you going to DJ's? Guy turns around and goes, how do you guys know about DJs? I mean, it's all time. Were you going to all those places? Like, where was your spot back in that time when you were sending?
I really wasn't a big going out guy because I was playing so much.
Yeah, that is true.
So it was like the going out was my parties, you know.
Yeah. When was the first time you played headliner? Like one of your shows?
2017 maybe.
I feel like that's the biggest day of their summer is your show. It's a hometown show.
Oh yeah.
Everybody.
It's
there.
madness.
It's madness. You get a nice day for it. And what do we got? The 25-minute alarm? Yeah. So I was big. I was really into baseball before I started sending
Mikey
Jersey
too.
Shore yeah, big time. Well, they brought out your...
I stink.
At a show, they brought out your Little League thing. I remember seeing that clip. Where
Oh,
they brought out
yes,
the
in Vegas.
Yeah,
in
so I
Vegas.
thought maybe you might be a baseball guy. But yeah, we were talking about
I'm actually
that.
banned from men's softball in Jersey. I am.
Are you?
Yeah, I am. I'm banned.
For what? You're banned from softball, men's softball in New Jersey.
I am banned. Yeah.
For?
Misconduct is the best way you could put it.
From taking it extremely serious and getting into it with somebody?
You might say.
Listen, you step on that diamond, it don't matter where it is or what the league is, you get after it.
Me and a twisted T
Yeah.
at shortstop.
That might.
You know?
Middle infield. Something about middle infielders, motherfuckers. Let's fucking go. So you don't play any softball. You can't play any.
can't.
They have your name on a.
I have an absolute...
You're blacklisted from
blacklisted. I
men's
can't
softball.
play.
Yeah.
I have an absolute rocket of an arm. I throw missiles.
I was a three-bagger. I had a bit of an arm as well, but I could swing it. You know, in college, my defense wasn't that great, but the bat, I was the four-hitter. I'm dropping nuclear missiles, but I didn't really get into the gym before that. Once I got into the gym and I was pumping chest and biceps every fucking day, I started ripping right center gap shots like it
on
was
the hips.
nothing, dog. And if I'm sitting middle in, forget about it. Middle in, you never throw it there. 3-0, I'm sitting on it.
Is Mikey any good or is he just...
Mikey was an absolute fucking stallion.
Is he?
You know what? I shouldn't say was. Is to this day. He's probably the best softball player in Miami, in the state of Florida.
come
honestly,
on.
I would say Miami might be the capital
Even with
of
that
softball,
cast on his
but-
pinky?
But you know how he got that? Softball.
It's unbelievable.
Made the play though.
Take that thing
Don't
off.
get it twisted. The man made the play.
He made
It's
the
very
play.
simple, yeah. But yeah, so bringing it back to the whole Reds thing and then getting to the pandemic talk. Obviously, that all took off during that 2020 and 2021 year. Then that summer 2021, which was crazy. Everybody was kind of back in action. Just took off, and the Jersey Shore was on a level I've never seen it, and sent me back in
Mikey,
time.
2021 was that Koyo? I want to talk about a time.
Let's hear about it. What do we got?
Mid-COVID, cancel me. My show gets canceled in Miami. Me and my friends have an Airbnb booked in Miami. I'm like, listen, we got flights booked. We have Airbnb booked. I'm coming to Miami, so like, let's figure something out. So my agent's like, yo, the club is closed due to COVID shit, whatever. I'm like, I don't care. Reach out to anybody. I'm throwing a party. They reach out to Koyo Taco. They go, you could play Friday and Saturday and just unannounced. We won't advertise it. You don't advertise it. You just show up. Bro, I show up Friday, lights dimmed. They're playing like fucking jazz. And the guy was playing. He's like, yo, are you going to come on? I'm like, yeah. And I go on and I just say that I'm there. And in the next hour and a half, it gets packed, right? I put you on the next party?
Yeah.
So it gets packed. Mikey comes. It gets packed. Crazy night. Now I say tomorrow we're doing it again. At 9 o'clock, there's a lot. Like, bro, the Koyo Taco inside is small.
Yeah.
There's nothing else going on. Inside, it was slammed. And we're fresh off of being in our house for I don't know how long, and it was like that first like we're back. Vinny ripped my shirt off mid-set. He ripped my shirt off of my body. Mikey opened up. It was insane. Nate Robinson showed up. Remember that? They actually
Nate Robinson?
they're like, "Yo, shout out Nate Robinson." I'm like, "What? No." I'm like, no. Did he just get knocked out by Jake Paul? I'm like, no, I'm not
A
shouting
couple
him out.
years, yeah.
No, shout out Nate Robinson.
How about, speaking of basketball really quick,
Yeah.
that Rodman jersey you have, 73
Electric.
on the Lakers, that is the definition of electric.
Electric. I met him.
You met Rodman?
Kinda. So we're in Vegas. I give everyone in the same speech whenever I take him to Vegas. My cousin Tommy was with me. I go, listen, sometimes it's crazy. Sometimes it's just a regular night. I don't want to hype it up too much, but sometimes it does get crazy. He goes, yo, turn to your right. Turn to my right. It's Dennis Rodman walking next to me. We walk into Hakkasan together.
Yeah, you have a residency there still? Or you
Dude,
have
I'm
one?
back at Hakkasan April 24th and June 6th, I believe.
Do you have any other residencies that you play, regularly around?
HQ, I would call that a residency in Hakkasan.
HQ, that's a classic spot.
Oh, I used to have a residency at Haven in the Golden Nugget. Classic. Oh, 2016, I think. I had a residency there. I played there every year. It was amazing. 1,000 people. Just slammed every single time. Didn't matter who else was playing in AC. It was the best club.
Now, I want to ask this before I forget because we were just talking about it. What went on when the pandemic hit for you? I know obviously you did that online
Fucking
Lollapalooza
mayhem.
set and all that. Like, what was it like when that first hit?
I shaved my head. I was losing my mind. I liked it for a little bit because I needed a break. 2019 was the craziest year of my life. But I didn't know what I was going to do. And I had this apartment in LA. I had a studio in LA. I had a fancy car. I'm spending all this money. And one day I'm walking my dog. And we get the notification like, you must be inside by 5 o'clock. And I'm like, I can't use our gym that I pay for. I can't use the sauna. I can't go in the pool. I have a studio. I have to be inside at 5. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I go to my wife now, girlfriend then. I'm like, we're moving back home. She goes, what? I go, we're moving back home. She goes, all right.
Where were you at the time?
I was in Studio City in LA.
Okay.
It just hit me. I was like, we got to get the fuck back. It was perfect timing.
What was going on with music during that time?
Terrible. It was horrible because you couldn't test it out. And there were so many things that people weren't releasing music because there was nothing to kind of base it off of, that you couldn't play it out. It almost wasn't like relatable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But streams were big, but I'm starting to stream a little bit more now, but going from shows every weekend to streaming, I couldn't catch the vibe. I can't get a vibe off of comments, And I think that transition was very hard for me. I couldn't get a grasp of it. Some people were easily transitioned to it. I couldn't do it.
That, I mean, going from again, like you said, 2019 was one of the best years for you.
Oh, definitely.
Like, and that I do want to talk about that whole era of music leading up to 2019 as well. But in the pandemic era, that's when that whole social media shift happened. So one of the questions I actually wanted to ask you was, what is your take on the current status of social media and its effect on music? I know we talked a little bit about it before, but now it seems like a totally different game. And during the pandemic is when I felt like that was the start of when things kind of flipped to where social media became big. TikTok took off.
Yeah.
By the way, only good thing. I mean, I've went viral on TikTok. I don't know if you classify it as good or bad. It's all up to discretion. But one of the only good things that happened for me from TikTok, this podcast. You commented on one of Baranici's clips.
Did I?
You're active on TikTok. You post a lot on there.
I try.
And Instagram as well. You just posted, shout out Josh Pele Magic. I know you just posted that clip with him.
Oh,
right?
Josh. Yo, he's the best.
Yeah, he's the boy. He did the podcast back in the day.
Did he?
Yeah, he came to Reds one night, did it. I met him there. And then when I started the pod, we
He's
had him on.
awesome, man. He's the real deal, bro.
Yeah, so going back to that era of music, just talk there. What is your thoughts on the difference between the era that is right now? You have, this, John Summit, Dom Dollar, this house music that's going crazy. That whole, I would say like 2011, I guess, to like 2019.
The golden era?
The golden era. I mean, that was a serious time for music. I mean, I still don't hear, and I think obviously we're kind of in it right now, so I still don't hear an artist that has catalogs like that of Avicii and Alesso that
Crazy
spark
'cause
that feeling.
Artists today are reaching levels that they've never reached before, like doing arenas and doing crazy shows, getting paid a ton of money, but without the catalog like you're talking about, you
Yeah.
know? So it's crazy. It's like it's reaching bigger audiences. People are doing Madison Square Garden, you know, like, but without that, which is interesting. I don't know if it's like I don't know what it is really. Like the biggest songs of today, to me, are no comparison. You can't look at numbers or like Swedish House Mafia. I just don't know if you could compare the height of Swedish House Mafia to the height of whoever is big right now.
Yes.
Because it was time shifting and like there was a shift in culture when that happened. You know, people were getting into EDM. And they were so on another level than everyone else. It's tough to compare that to people that are popping off right now. Like I think it's very relatable to go to a song to a show from someone who's popped off from the internet, but guys like Swedish House Mafia during that golden era, they were doing it for fucking 20 years, and then all of a sudden they come out with an anthem.
Anthems.
Anthem. A song that you could hear for 10 years, not 1 or 2 years.
Those songs to this day still hit when they are
And
played.
there's not many songs that come out today or yesterday that are continue to play over a decade.
Are you tapped in with a lot of the artists that are blowing up today, or?
It's like I've met them in passing, I've known them, you know. It's just kind of a different lane than I'm in, and different. What's popping right now is like very listenable music, which I get, and there's like I call it like the anti-drop. Feels like all this new shit drops into fucking nothing. It's like just continues. I need a fucking drop. Bring back the drops. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you what, last night, before you even introed a Jersey club song was just drop after drop after drop.
I need a surprise, or I need a climax to happen in a song.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, 100%. That whole buildup is what it's for. No,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the buildup, it's the anticipation, but when that drop hits, you want to feel something. And that's something that I think there's so many artists now today. Everything's saturated. We all know that. It's not just music, but so many artists are making music that are chasing, or they're making music that is chasing the hype and not inspiring something you can feel. And I feel like that is across the board. And I think a lot of artists that were big in your era, yourself included, when you heard those drops, it took you to a certain place and it invoked that emotion.
Yeah.
And I think that is the biggest difference I see. And I think a lot of the biggest artists now, I think they have this, you know, there are similarities to some of their biggest songs. Like this, obviously we talk about Where You Are with John Summit. I mean, everyone in the world knew that, but the emotion you felt when you heard that song, I think that, you know, speaks to why it was so big.
Yeah.
But back in that
It's an
era,
amazing vocal. That's like that could have came out 10 years ago and been huge, you know,
Yes.
like that song was going to be big no matter what, you know?
Yeah.
It's a great record.
most
I compare that to like a Reload or you know what I mean? Like it has that style, that anthemy vocal, you know?
And you know what? This is why, back to Jersey Shore, built on that music.
Yeah.
People talk Jersey's the greatest state in the union. I've been saying it forever. The Jersey Shore is the top of the top, and it was built on that music, which is why there's nothing that ever
We're the
will compare
greatest.
to it. So what is your plan then? I guess, you know, moving forward with music, you're somebody who throughout time has been able to keep their sound. You've never, or I won't say you've never, but I would say the majority of your songs that are still playing today have that sound. The majority of the songs that you're making today still have your sound. You're somebody who's been able to do that through this era of when house and tech house took off, I mean. But what is your plan moving forward with music and just in general? Like,
Just keep doing me, you know, staying true. The goal is to not quit. That's the number one thing. Not quit and just work at it every day. That's my thing right now. Work at it, make a beat every day, make a song every day. You know, just try and not quit. That's it. That's all. I'm just taking it day by day. Not trying to overanalyze anything or, I'm grateful for the situation I'm in. And that's it. Day by day.
Let's fucking go. Well, dude, thank you for doing the podcast. I really appreciate
Thank
the
you,
opportunity
man.
to talk to you. This was awesome. Had fun. It's the Jersey
man.
connection. There's no
Absolutely.
other way. So they got you all socials. It's 4B. I mean, they know
4B,
DJ 4B.
baby.
Yeah.
Get at me.
And we're out.